Chad Brendel, BearcatJournal.com, with the guy that maybe has spent more time at Camp Higher Ground than anybody by now, Walt Stewart. Walt, how about a little over 1 week into camp? You got a lot of your group back. How are things going so far?
It's been good. The guys have been picking up the defense, been practicing hard, bringing it every day. So we've got off to a really good start so far.
You've been in a couple different places. A new defense comes in and you stay. How much time did it take with Coach Brown? How much film study? What did you have to do to get ready to teach your guys a little bit different style?
Well,
a lot different style.
Well, yeah, a lot different style. But, before spring ball, we spent a lot of time, just going over, just the playbook and really what's required out of all the position groups. And from there, we kind of just put together a plan, pre-spring, spring, post-spring, and all that to make sure that the guys were picking it up. And, just redoing Indy and things like that. So we put the work in and the guys put the work in as well.
As a coach, how difficult was all that in December, January, uncertainty, knowing, not knowing, meeting a new staff, and how difficult for a coach is that? You got a family, you're worried about a lot of different things.
Well, it's tough, but that's the business, right? That's part of what we do. So it was some turbulence there, but getting the chance to meet Coach Brown, Coach Sad, spend some time with them, and just to have an opportunity to be around. So I'm really appreciative and thankful for that. And, it's a good fit and great guys. I know they're going to take care of the program, and I'm just glad to still be around.
Probably help to have Kerry in your corner, too, a little bit.
No doubt. You got to have Mr. Cincinnati, man. So, having Kerry around definitely helps. And then with me and him kind of being able to bounce back and forth off of each other of the differences and really help with the adjustments of, hey, here's camp, here's how spring ball was running,
right,
and give ideas to Coach Sat. So, it's been really awesome.
Teaching this new system, how different is it when you're, instead of holding the point of attack, now it's get upfield? Is it a lot different, technically when you're working with guys? Are you having to work on more upfield moves? What's the coaching process?
It's definitely a lot different. D-line play, footwork, hands and eyes, that don't change. But as far as what's required is different. So, something that we had to do a lot of in the offseason was just get guys moving, just get used to moving and going left to right and getting up the field and retracing and turning and running, where, prior to that, we were more, being glued to all linemen, for lack of a better term. And now we get to kind of use athleticism and move a lot more. So, biggest thing is just getting guys used to moving a lot more frequently, and the communication that's required with running the different, games and tricks, as we call them. It's a lot of communication that goes on, which puts a lot more on the D-line, which is fine. But it's a great defense to play in. If I'm a defensive lineman, you get to be 2 yards up the field and turning corners the majority of the time, so get to cause a lot of havoc.
Coaching against outside zone, how different? How much more challenging? How difficult is that? Trying to keep those guys learning how to play in space and not get tired out and be fresh.
Well, Coach Nico has done a great job of getting guys, in shape. We have ran probably a lot more than what the guys have been used to in the past, which has really translated to the field. And then, defensive line-wise, being able to focus in on the small keys of which way the zone is going and things like that to kind of help, the stresses of the outside zone. So, between what the strength coaches have done and then with the plan that we had for the guys in the offseason, was able to come together and really, create something to help the guys adjust and play at a high level.
At what point coaching Dante Corleone did you go, oh, this is different? This isn't just a big space eater. This is a dude that can really play.
Well, last year during spring ball, obviously being new and then moving to the defensive line, kind of seeing him, go through his development process. But the thing that stood out to me most was in the red zone. For whatever reason, he just kept timing up where he was in the red zone. And he was making a lot of solo tackles inside the 20. And I was asking myself, I'm like, how in the heck is our nose guard getting, single, how has he ended up with single tackles, solos in the red zone? And, the team's gonna run the ball a little bit more. So now that's when he was at his best. And so that's when I kind of saw the flicker. I'm like, all right, so this dude is getting off of blocks and finding the ball. And then from there, we kind of just see him just slowly get better with his feet, slowly get in more shape, slowly, increase his football intelligence, slowly have more command. And it's been a sight to see his growth.
How special was it him running down Miles Montgomery on Tuesday? 30 yards down the field.
Was Juwan. That was Juwan.
That was Juwan?
That was Juwan, yeah. That's the other 300-pounder, yeah. Now, I will say this. He had a very similar play in the spring. So in the spring, Dante had a play where he chased a guy 40 yards down the field. I think it was a screen as well. So you got both your 300-pound guys that can open that thing up and run the football down. It sets a really big tone with our defense. It does, man. So, and it's awesome because those guys bring it every single day. And, when the 300-pounders run, it sets a huge tone on defense. And, I appreciate those guys for that.
Eric Phillips, a guy that was solid last year, did everything that you wanted. Is he in line for even another big jump this year? Because it seems like this style fits him maybe a little bit better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been excellent as well. Just the other day he had a touchdown where he took the ball from the running back and ran it in 40 yards. So expecting a lot of big things out of him. He's also another guy whose development has just slowly just been increasing. And I'm really excited to see him get cut loose. He's just a guy that comes in, works every day, available every day, asks a lot of questions, and he put it on the field. So, having him back definitely is a benefit for us.
It's great for a D-line coach to have guys up front at the top of the roster, but you have the one thing a D-line coach craves, right, which is depth, where you can rotate. It's not just we have to rely on these three guys 70-80% of the snaps. How deep does that room go right now for you?
Well, in a perfect world, I would like that thing to be as deep as 9 guys. I think that right now we're in a position where we can play, potentially anywhere from 7, to 9 guys, maybe even more, depending on what your role may be. So it's awesome, man. And the guys push each other, really, really tight unit. There's no egos in there, and they challenge each other to get better every day. So, hopefully we can get that thing about 9 plus and just let those guys go hunt and keep that same level of attention and detail in play.
Real quick, tell me about Jalen Hunt, Michigan State transfer. Seen him make some plays. I saw him make a play sideline to sideline. That was.
So our 300-pounders, man, they can run, man. So Jalen got to us here in the summer, and completely transformed his body in a short amount of time that he was here. He's a really smart kid, versatile. He can play inside, he can play outside, and just to see him grow. Really, from a conditioning level, has been a sight to see. Where when he first got here, he was struggling just to make it through the beginning of our workouts, and then to see him now chasing the ball 30 yards down the field, sideline to sideline. So having him has been a big time bonus, and then I look forward to seeing him get after it as well this year.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Good stuff.